Shalom, sisters. Shalom. Kohalo Yahweh Ba'Shem Hamashiach wa Malak Yahushai. All honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Lord willing, sisters, been feeling well through the Spirit, been holding down through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, having faith through their trials, their tribulations, and also glorying in tribulations as well. And that's what I wanted to touch on in this video. Making sure that you take the time out to actually glory in whatever it is that you're going through. We were talking about this on the sisters call, and we have to make sure that we are glorying and thanking the Most High and praising the Most High through whatever it is that He gives us, because He's given it to us for a reason. And I was saying on a sisters call on Thursday, if sisters don't know about the sister calls, on Thursdays, it said the sister calls are 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 Central. But the Zoom link will always be posted on Instagram at the Handmaids Wa Yahweh Shai Instagram page. And Lord willing, I can start posting it more on YouTube. But sisters should get on those calls to get edified through the Spirit, Lord willing. I was bringing out how, when we go through trials and tribulations, it's to strengthen us for us to get the kingdom of heaven. And one point that I was bringing out was just that, how when people go to the military, they have to go through basic training. And in basic training, you have to get maced. You have to learn how to shoot a gun. You have to, go through all of this rigorous physical work that can take a toll on you, your body physically. It could take a toll on you mentally. This is what people have to go through in order to make it through, to pass basic training, to get their benefits. A lot of people that are in the military, I know a few older people, they retired. They went through basic training, they went to wars, and they fought battles, and now they're retired, and they don't have to work, they don't have to do anything, because they went through everything that they needed to go through in order for them to kind of live a somewhat peaceful life in this captivity by being retired and not having to really work and deal with Esau, deal with our enemies, etc. So it's the same way when it comes to getting the kingdom of heaven. You have to think about how you have to go through trials and tribulations. It's not going to be easy. And let me bring out a precept before we go to Romans 5:1-5. Okay, this is Acts 14:22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of God. So you're going to go through much tribulation in order to enter into the kingdom of heaven. It was never meant to be easy for us. This life we're in captivity. We are yet to stay in this captivity. So like, just paraphrasing Baruch, we're yet this day in our captivity because we sinned. We went off. So we understand that we have that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to understand that everything that we go through, the Lord brings it upon us for a reason. We have to make sure that we're rejoicing and we're glorying through all the trials and tribulations that the Lord brings upon us. And a lot of people can say, well, it's easier said than done. But that's where the precepts come into play. That's where the strength of the Lord comes into play, for the Lord to strengthen your spirit. It also goes in the fruits of the Spirit as well. Making sure that, look, you understand that this may not be what you want. I'm just making something up. Whatever that you're going through, it may not be what you want. You want your heart's desires. You want to have this and to have that, or whatever it is that whatever it is that you want, but the Lord might see something different for you. But you have to make sure that you have to stay in the Spirit and understand that, look, you deserve everything that the Lord has given you, whether it's good or bad. Job 2:10. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we not receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips? And complaining, and that's one thing that we want to make sure that we're not doing, is complaining about our lives or what's going on in our lives. We have to be grateful for everything. And this is going into understanding who you are as an Israelite woman, understanding that a part of being an Israelite is just not keeping the feast days. It's also keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. It's also keeping the things that are written. Okay, so let's go to, let me think, Ecclesiasticus. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 on down. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Believe in him, and he will help thee. Order thy way aright, and trust in him. So that's what you have to do when you're going through trials and tribulations. You have to set your mind aright and focus on what is most important, the kingdom of heaven, serving the Lord. And don't be hasty. Don't make a hasty decision in a time of trouble. When people make a hasty decision in the time of trouble, their heart end up departing from the Lord. You really want to cleave unto the Most High so that you are increased at your latter end. Whether the Lord wants you to be increased when he wants to wait until you get the kingdom, or in this captivity he can increase you, but the Lord can do whatever he wants to do. But it's your job to apply the precepts and to understand verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, you have to take it cheerfully. And you have to be patient when you're changed to a low estate, even if that means that you just found out some bad news. You found out, you lost your job, this, that, and the third happened. Always take that time to remember that the Lord commanded you to be cheerful when you are changed to a low estate. The Lord is seeing that. The Lord sees when you're cheerful, when you're changed to that low estate. Because the Lord deals with the humble and the meek. That's being humble unto the Lord. Okay? And for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. If you consider yourself, I'm an Israelite, you proclaiming you an Israelite sister, an Israelite woman, a mother, wife, sister, auntie, whatever it is the Lord brought upon you, whatever your role is, you claiming that you're an Israelite woman, you're going to understand that you're going to be tried. You have to understand that. And when you are tried, the Lord told us what to do in verse 4. Take it cheerfully. And that kind of reminds me of the account with the mother in 2 Maccabees. I'm thinking of all these precepts at one time. I'm trying to think where to go first. Hold on. Now, okay, let's go to the mother in Maccabees right quick. Because this is what she did. They all took upon what they went through, and they didn't lose their job. They didn't lose or they didn't get the job that they applied for. They didn't get into a car accident. Their husband didn't leave them. Whatever they're not going through the basic day-to-day life of us in captivity. They're going through strange calamities. They're going through they're getting their scalp peeled back, their limbs cut off, their tongue cut off. And if you telling me that you can't take the time to praise the Most High in the lowest in the estate that we're in, when you're going through your small trials and tribulations, because this sister and her sons, they was praising the Most High and exhorting each other when they was going through those trials and tribulations. They still remembered when they was brought to that low estate, they still cleaved unto the Lord. So you telling me that you can't cleave unto the Lord because your daughter not keeping the commandments, because your husband is not in the truth, because you might be struggling to figure out how you're going to pay your rent, your mortgage this month? we gotta do better. We gotta do better spiritually and really understand what it means to rejoice in tribulation, to really cleave into the Lord. All right, so this is 2 Maccabees chapter 7, and I'm going to just scroll down to verse 5. We can start at verse 3. No, let's start at verse 2. All right, y'all know I'm being undecided, double-minded. Okay, let's start at verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brothers with their mother were taken and compelled by the kings against the law to taste swine's flesh, and they were tormented with scourges and whips. So they were tormented with scourges and whips. But one of them spake first and said thus, What wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers. Then the king, being enraged, commanded pans and cauldrons to be made hot, which forthwith, being heated, he commanded to cut out the tongue of him that spake first, and to cut off the utmost parts of his body, and the rest of his brethren and his mother looking on. Now when he was thus maimed in all his members, he commanded him, being yet alive, to be brought to the fire and to be fried in a pan. And as the vapor of the pan was for a good space dispersed, they exhorted one another with the mother to die manfully, saying thus, The Lord God looketh upon us, and truth hath comfort in us, as Moses in his song, which witnessed to their faces, declared, saying, And he shall be comforted in his servants. So they were exhorting one another. They were exhorting, let's go. Let's keep these commandments. Let's die for the Lord. Because they understood that whatsoever was brought upon them, they had to take that cheerfully. Weaker we are as a people than we were in the ancient world. And Babylon has pacified us so much to be weak. But we have to remember where our strength is. We hope, and our strength is in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Let's read verse 20. But the mother was marvelous above all and worthy of honorable memory. For when she saw her 7 sons slain with the space of one day, she bare it with a good courage. She didn't say, curse the Lord and die, like Job's wife did. She didn't say, well, my husband left me, so I don't want to be in the truth anymore, or I'm going to get another husband because my one husband got another wife, and something happened to my son and daughter, so I'm going to just, I'm going to just stop keeping the commandments. I'm going to go back in the world and freak off and just find another man. I'm mad right now because I'm struggling because, I don't know, of the decisions that I made in my life. You know what I'm saying? She didn't do that. She took she took it cheerfully and courageously. She didn't make no excuses. She didn't talk about I didn't hear nobody talk about what the king was doing. They just said, look, you're going to be punished for what you're doing. But they had that mind of where they understood where their strength was, and they understood their future, and they understood that they was going to get the kingdom of heaven, that they was going to take this joyfully, and they was going to take it courageously because they understood that they went off. And that's what we have to understand, that we are yet this day in our captivity because we went off, and that the Lord does not have to do anything for us. Bear with good courage because of the hope that she had in the Lord. Because of the hope that she had in the Lord. And that's what we kind of lack as a people. That true hope and faith in the Lord. This is Proverbs 24:10. If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. If you faint when you're going through trials, tribulations, adversities, and you say, I'm done with this, I'm tucking all my friends' dresses and shirts to the Goodwill. I can't do this no more. I can't take this spiritual warfare no more. I can't take whatever I'm battling with. I can't do it no more. You throw in the towel. I can't do it. Then your strength is small. Your strength is small. That hope that you have in the Lord is small. The Psalms 28:7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusteth in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoiced, and with my song will I praise him. The Lord is our strength. The Lord, and that hope, if you don't even have hope in the Lord, your strength is small. How is the Lord going to be able to show up for you if you don't have any hope in him? If you don't have any strength with you? The Lord is our strength. When Proverbs 31 says strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice the time to come, that's not in there. Everything was written aforetime for our learning. It's not in there for no reason. That strength, that is our clothing. The hope that we have in the Lord. That is what we wear. That is what we exude through the Spirit. That is what people see when they see us as Israelite women. They see the hope we have in the Lord. Oh, she's different from everybody else. Oh, why is everybody staring? They see that hope that you have in the Lord. They see that the Lord is with you. They see that the strength of the Lord is with you. Understand that. Therefore, that's why our heart, we greatly rejoice. We greatly rejoice with the Lord because we know that the Lord is with us. And we have to understand that whatever we go through, we have to take it cheerfully. And it kind of just reminds me, anytime I think about the relationship, with us and the Most High, of course, we don't know the mind of the Most High, but as a mother, I think about how I chastise my kids. And when I chastise my kids, my children, and I see them doing something that they know they shouldn't be doing, you getting punished because I told you that you need to make sure that you need to clean up your mess after dinner, but you didn't want to do it. So now you can't have dessert. And if you start crying, it's going to make me want to do something else. So if you're not being humble, accepting whatever it is, chastisement from the Lord can bring a plethora of more spirits and demons to you. All right, this is James 4:10. Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. You have to be humble in the sight of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in order for him to be there for you, to uplift you when you're at that lowest state. You have to be humble. Having or showing a modest estimate of one's value or importance, not arrogant or self-important. And when you're going through something and you getting mad and you complaining, it's kind of like, at the end of the day, it's like, who do we think that we are? Because at the end of the day, we're nobody, and the Lord can destroy us just like that, with the snap of a finger. So when you start complaining and you start being ungrateful for the chastisement that the Lord has brought upon you, that's the complete opposite of being humble. And that's where you walking in to being prideful. And with pride comes destruction. All right, this is Proverbs 16:18. But first, I'm going to bring out Baruch, I think it's 4:6. Hold on. This is Baruch 4:6. Ye were sold to the nations not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, ye were delivered into the enemies. Okay. And let's go to Baruch 3:8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God. Okay, we right where we need to be, whether we like it or not. We right where we need to be. We got brought to a lowest state because we departed from the Lord our God. After all he done for us, it was us. It's our fault. Everything that we go through is our fault. That's why we take it cheerfully. And that comes into that self-examination. Remember, again, just because you come into the truth don't mean that it's going to be easy. It's not always going to be a piece of cake. Through much tribulation shall you enter into the kingdom of heaven. It's not a cakewalk. It's not going to be easy. Sometimes it's going to be people. It's not going to be anybody there to hold your hand. But you know who's going to be there for you? If you have hope and faith in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That's who you hope in. That's where your strength is in, the Lord. It's nothing too hard for the Lord to make something shake for you, to deliver you from whatever wicked demon you got troubling your spirit, to whatever you got going on in your household, to whatever you got going on at your job. It's nothing too hard for the Lord. But we have to understand and remember that we have to remain humble in our walk. Being at that lowest state and understanding the water Yahweh Shem Yahushua for all the things that you brought upon me and that you brought upon me. I deserve this. And not getting upset about it, not getting mad about it. That's prideful. And that's what the Lord hates. And that's something that we have to train our mind to do. Then the Lord will bless you. The Lord will have mercy on you. When we read that the Lord will give us the desires of our heart, that's not when you being prideful. When the beginning of pride is when one's heart depart from the Lord. Let's pull this up real quick. All right, this is Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Verse 19, better is it to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. So it's better to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. It's better to have that meek and humble spirit. This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God and his heart is turned away from his maker. So that's the beginning of pride. When you say, I don't want to do this anymore, you giving up on keeping the commandments because you don't have a husband. You giving up on keeping the commandments because you didn't get the position that you wanted. You giving up on keeping the commandments because you can't find a sisterhood, because your husband left you, because your kid's not listening, because you got, Lord forbid, all of these are Lord forbid, if you're a sister, you're not going through these things, but this is just an example. You give up. That's the beginning of pride, is when you start to give up and when your mind is departing from the Lord. That's the complete opposite of being that humble woman that the Lord wants you to be. All right, this Proverbs 6 and 16. These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift into running mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Look, having that proud look, and when the wickedness of a woman, your countenance is going to change. You're a proud woman when you see it. It's going to be on your face. It's going to be on your countenance, being that prideful woman. Then also having that heart that deviseth wicked mind is devise you to depart from the Lord. Then the Lord hates that. He hates that prideful look, and he hates a heart that deviseth wicked imaginations. That is a wicked imagination to say, I'm going to stop being in this truth. Proverbs 29:23. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. So, a sister, your pride, it's going to bring you low. Like I said, if you can't be grateful and thankful for what the Lord has blessed you with, and you can't be content, and you can't, you find yourself saying you don't want to be in the truth anymore. You find yourself just complaining, not being humble, because you don't know what you did in your past life to deserve the life that you have now. We don't know. We truly don't. So us complaining and talking about, I wish I had this and I wish things was different. You know what you did to go off. But if you're that honorable sister, like, hey, I know I messed up. Something happened to you, the first thing you want to do is get on your knees and say, the water Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for this chastisement. That's being honorable. That's being that honorable Israelite woman. All of our foremothers were honorable, that the scriptures mention. Judith, Esther, those were very honorable women. They had the strength in the Lord, and they had that honor as well. And the Lord, what did he do? He upheld the humble in the spirit. He upheld them through the spirit and delivered them. But if Judith and Esther was like, look, I'm out. Judith could have said, I'm out. I'm taking my handmaid with me. I'm taking all my riches I got. And we out. We're going to make a way out of here. See y'all later, Israel. Good luck. Esther could have did the same thing. And the Lord could have had, boom, both of them die in an instant. If they were prideful. But the Lord had it for them to be humble through the spirit as an example for us. That when times get hard, what you going to do? It's either you're going to be honorable, throw up a fast, thank the Most High, because when they do their prayers, they thank the Most High. I don't want to make the video too long, but that's one thing that Esther did. That's one thing that Judith did. She thanked the Most High. They were about to die, but she thanked the Most High. To Judith chapter 8, and just an example of her understanding that we don't know the mind of the Lord, and that the Lord has the power to do whatever it is that he wants to do to us when he wants to do it. Let's go to Judith 8. And now who are ye that have tempted God this day and stand instead of God amongst the children of men? And now try the Lord Almighty, but ye shall never know anything. For ye cannot find the depth of the heart of man, neither can ye perceive the things that he thinketh. Then how can ye search out God that hath made all these things, and know his mind, or comprehend his purpose? Nay, my brethren, provoke not the Lord our God to anger. For if he will help us, for if he will not help us within these 5 days, he hath power to defend us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies. Do not bind the counsels of the Lord our God, for God is not a man that he may be threatened, neither is he a son of man that he should be wavering. Therefore let us wait for salvation of him, and call upon him to help us, and he will hear our voice if it please him. So I bring that point out to show that that is how an honorable woman moves when she faces adversity, when she's in a hot seat. She said, let us wait for our salvation of him and call upon the Lord, and he will hear our voices if it please him. And that the Lord, she said, if he will not help us within these 5 days, he hath the power to defend us when he will, even every day, or to destroy us before our enemies. So she understood that with her humble spirit, that the Lord got the power to kill us right now, or to have mercy on us and save us. 18 says that, for there arose none in our age, neither is there any now in these days, neither tribe nor family nor people nor city among us which worship gods made with hands, as has been aforetime. For the which cause our fathers were given to the sword and for a spoil, and had a great fall before our enemies. But we know no other God, therefore we trust that he will not despise us, nor any of our nation. We can't say that. We can't say verse 18 and it be truthful, because we all went off. We were all in the world. We celebrated pagan holidays. We worshiped other gods, even if it was in ignorance. But these are the things that we did. We can't say that. We have to remember, understand, who are we to be upset when we get chastised by the Lord, when we go through tribulations. She can say, but we know no other God, therefore we trust that he will not despise us, nor any of our nation. We have no other gods. If you wasn't raised in the laws and commandments, and a lot of people like to say, well, I've been in truth since I was a baby. Stop it. Stop it. You got your breasts out. You wearing booty shorts. You got 5 husbands. Knowing about the truth and being in the truth is about the law, statutes, commandments is 2 different things. That have been in the truth since they were young, not to discredit them, but don't be that sister that's saying, well, that was never me because I knew I was Israelite since I was a baby, but you out here freaking off, serving other gods, doing what you want to do. I see it all the time on Facebook. I'm about to say, we are terrible people. We're nuts. And that's why we are here right now, going through all the things that the Lord brought upon us. And call how about Shem Yahushua, because I'm reading on down, and it says, in the slaughter of our brethren. Oh, Salakia, let me read verse 21, Salakia. For if we be taken so, all Judea shall lie waste, and our sanctuary shall be spoiled, and he will require the profanation thereof at our mouth. And the daughter of our brethren, and the captivity of the country, will he turn upon our heads. Among the Gentiles, wheresoever we shall be in bondage, and we shall be an offense and a reproach to all them that possess us. For our servitude shall not be directed to favor, but the Lord our God shall turn it to dishonor. That's exactly what happened to us. We're captivity in another country. Our sanctuary is spoiled. It's been spoiled for years. We're a spoiled people. Now we have to go through the trials and the tribulations and the boot camp to get to the kingdom of heaven. 2, 3, and 4. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Hamashiach Yahushua. No man that warreth entangled himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. So the Lord has chosen us to be soldiers. Judith was a soldier for the Lord. Esther was a soldier. Jael. Sisters are also soldiers for the Lord as well. In meekness, humbleness, being that Israelite woman that the Lord wants us to be. Our main goal is to be found blameless. Not, okay, well, when it's time for Judgment Day, and we have to all be accounted for all of our actions, and the Lord pulls everything that you was complaining about in the truth. Everything that you was not content about. That's going to look bad. It's going to look terrible. It really, really is. All right, this is Revelation 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be. So if you can't take the chastisement that the Lord gives you, you can't be thankful and content with whatever the Lord has handed upon you, that he's going to give you according to your works. If you want to be prideful and not humble and thank the Lord in your low estate and take it cheerfully and be proud and complain and not make the best of your situation, then you're going to get according to your works. And honestly, the estate that we're in right now as a people, like I said, we're a pacified people. A roof over your head. We got, a lot of us have beds to sleep in. Your heat is on. You got lights. You have the small, they're actually big things to be grateful for. Having clothes on your back, fringes on your clothes. You can go out, get you something for the Sabbath day. You can eat your Sabbath meal in peace. Whatever it is, think about all the things that the Lord has done for you and be grateful for whatever it is that the Lord has going on for you right now, because right now we're not hiding in caves to keep the Sabbath day because they seek in our lives to kill us. It's not happening right now, but it is going to happen. So be grateful for the small tribulations that you have to go through right now, because it's just preparing you for what's to come. They're not killing us and our babies for circumcising our sons on the 8th day. It's not happening right now, but it is going to happen. They're not spoiling us, taking us out of our house and lining us up to persecute us right now, but it is going to happen. So be grateful for the day that the Lord has given you right now in this grace and mercy period that the Lord has given us to get right and keep the commandments. And to truly examine ourselves, to work on ourselves, to strengthen ourselves up through the Spirit. All right, this is 2 Esdras 14 and 13 through 16. Now therefore, set thy house in order and reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble. And now renounce corruption. Let go from the immortal thoughts and cast away the burdens of man. Put off now that weak nature and set aside the thoughts that are heavy, that are most heavy unto thee, and haste to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much more, for look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more evils shall increase upon them that dwell therein. So it's only going to wax worse out here. It's not getting better. It's no, I'm going to vote for this, that, and the third person, and things are going to get better for us. It's only getting worse. And if you want the Lord to give you the desires of your heart, which our main desire should be getting the kingdom of heaven, let's go to that. But if you want the Lord to give you the desires of your heart, you have to set your mind right. And you have to get your house in order. Get your children in order. Get yourself in order. And understand the times that we're going into. And be grateful for the small things that the Lord blesses us with. Put off that weak nature. We have to. You have to put off that weak nature. Say, well, shoot, could be worse. You know what I do with my kids, my children? You know what I do when my children act up and I find them being ungrateful about something? You know what you can do? You can sit here and have nothing. That's what you can do. You can sit down and you can have nothing. You can sit here and watch these kids in this third world country with these Hamites with their humongous stomachs eating flies and porridge. Getting what's the word I want to use? Getting assaulted by Edomites. You know, I keep it very honest with my children. I tell them, you gotta be thankful. It's some kids somewhere. I said, you know what they be doing to kids? They take them and they kidnap them and they sell them. And they sell them to rich people and they do crazy stuff to them. If you don't want that to be you, then you need to be grateful for what you have before the Lord have something happen to you. Lord forbid, But you have to be circumspect about the times we living in. Be grateful as an adult, as an Israelite woman, for what you have, for the Lord have something happen to you. And I know this is kind of a harsh rebuke. And I can tell you straight up right now, y'all, when I woke up this morning, I did not think I was going to make a video. It's actually very scary because I was like, I'm going to take a break from doing videos. And I was like, I haven't, it hasn't been in my mind. But I literally woke up this morning, made me a cup of tea, went outside, and I came back down and I opened up my phone I was going to start reading Romans chapter 5. While I was reading it, and I was okay, maybe I could do a video. I just press record. I mean, it's truly of the Most High, because it's something that we truly, truly need to hear through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. This video, I hope it was helpful for sisters, it's really something that we need to truly, truly, truly need to meditate on in these last days. And I know it's kind of a harsh kind of rebuke video. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, y'all. But, we need this. We need to understand that, we truly, truly, truly have to thank the Most High for any chastisement that he gives us, any correction that he gives us. Oh, that's what I want to bring out, y'all, before I end the video. Okay, and this is Hebrews 12, 6 and 7. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastiseth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastising, God dealeth with you as with sons. Slakia, as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chastiseth not? So, of course, we're going to go through chastisement if the Lord loves us. You're a repentant Israelite woman. You keeping the commandments. You doing everything that you're supposed to do through the Spirit. The Lord is going to chastise you. And a part of that chastisement is that tribulation that you're supposed to rejoice in. Humbly, thanking the Most High. The water Yahweh Shem Yahushai. For whatsoever is brought upon thee, I'm going to take cheerfully, because that's what the mother did in Maccabees when she watched her sons get baked in a pan. And that this thing that you have brought into me, the water, because at the end of the day, I'm nothing and I deserve it. Because I went off. Because I was serving other gods. Because I was wicked. May you have mercy upon me, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, to strengthen my spirit in these last days, and bless me with more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on how to move in these last days. That's what you do. That's what you do. Now let's go to Romans 5, 1 through 5. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai. So us being justified by the faith that we have in Yahweh Shem Yahushai, we have peace. Because we have that peace and we have that hope in the Lord, just like the mother did in 2 Maccabees, chapter 7. We have that peace of our latter end, of what's going to happen for us, which is ultimately the kingdom of heaven. Paraphrasing a precept, where your heart is, that's where your treasure is also. So where your mind is, that's where your treasure is going to be. If your mind is Matthew 6 and 33, focusing on the kingdom of heaven, then you're going to be at peace. But if your mind isn't focused on the kingdom of heaven, then you're not going to be at peace in your life. You're not. You're going to always want this. You're always going to be talking about this, then, the third, complaining about this. And we know what we want. And that's the kingdom. We have that peace with our God, with Yahweh Shem Yahushai, by whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand. I just was bringing that out. We have that access of faith by the grace right now in this captivity. The Lord has given us this grace period right now. We have access to the Lord by faith. How can you get that access? By praying, by fasting and by having that meek and humble spirit and being thankful. Matthew 6:33. Focus on the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all those things that you want, it shall be added unto you. So I'm going to read it again. By whom also we have access by faith into this grace wherein we stand, and rejoice in hope of the glory of God. We rejoice in the hope of getting the kingdom, of seeing the destruction of our enemies, of seeing our children at peace, of having that peace of mind in the kingdom of heaven where we're not dealing with spiritual warfare, where we can beat our servants down with whatever we want to. When we can wake up and go sit in our garden and have a cup of tea and harvest anything we want all day, every day long in our garden. Go to the beach. Do whatever you want to do. Yahushua said, look, there's many mansions. It's already prepared for us, but you have to work to get it. It's not going to come easy. You're going to go through tribulation. But you are going to understand that you have to rejoice in hope of the glory of the Lord. That's what we rejoice in. Getting that kingdom. We're rejoicing in every single day. Verse 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also. So we not only glory in getting the kingdom of heaven, we glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulation worketh patience. The small tribulation that you're going through now is going to work patience. So you're building yourself up. The Lord is building you up through the Spirit to get through what you need to get through to get to the kingdom of heaven. Because like I said before, it's only going to get worse. And patience, experience. And experience hope. And hope maketh not ashamed, because the love of God is shed abroad in our hearts by the Holy Ghost, which is given unto us. So that tribulation, you rejoice in it. And you understand that, okay, patience. Let's say, you know how if you ever moved into a new place before and you kind of want to get all the furniture, furnish your house, do all this all at once. No, you're going to have a little bit of patience. You want to get the kingdom of heaven. You want to do, you want to, of course, everybody wants it that fast. Whatever it is that we want it fast. And that's kind of what Babylon teaches. You got to get it fast. But we have to have that patience. This captivity Satan doesn't teach you how to have patience. But the Lord is giving us that experience and whatever tribulation that we're going through to understand that we need to have patience. That's why the scripture says, wait on the Lord. I say, wait on the Lord. And that tribulation that you're going through, that builds up your experience. And that builds up your hope. Because you know that the Lord did it for you before, he's going to do it again. But we have to remain humble. We have to be grateful for everything that the Lord has brought upon us. And we have to rejoice in tribulation. Fuck you. It kind of reminds me of a situation I was in, just rejoicing in tribulation. And I did a video about this maybe about 3 years ago. When I had took a pregnancy test and I ended up being pregnant, and I went to the hospital. They told me, hey, look, your HCG levels are low. The pregnancy is now where it needs to be. You're going to have a miscarriage, or you're having a miscarriage. That's what they said. You know what I did? I got up and I started rejoicing. As soon as the doctor left the room, I rejoiced in the Lord. Because I knew that that's what the Lord saw fit for me to go through. I remember that day getting up, I got up off that table, that little chair table, and I just started to praise and thank the Most High. Because I couldn't see myself I don't know, at the moment really crying about it. Because it's just like, that's what the Lord has brought upon me. And that's the type of mind frame that we have to have. Whatever you go through, you take that tribulation like a champ and you take it cheerfully. And you understand that the Lord is going to have mercy on you if you rejoice. He's going to build you up through the Spirit, Lord willing. And he's going to bless you. And I remember shortly after that, I found out I was pregnant. So I almost kind of say it was a miracle because I don't even know what happened. All I know is that I gave birth 7 months or 9 months later. So it's nothing too hard for the Lord. It's truly nothing too hard for the Lord. And that's what we have to remember. All right, when you're going through these trials and tribulations, understand it's nothing too hard for the Lord. And the Lord will give you the desires of your heart if you are doing what he has called us to do, okay? Which is rejoicing in tribulation, following having the fruits of the Spirit, keeping the commandments, being that Israelite woman that he has called us to be through the Spirit. All right, so all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Kohalo Yahweh Shem Yahshai Walanyam and Barakatah Yahweh Shem Yahshai. All praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Whew, child. All praises to the Most High, sisters. Lord willing, y'all continue to endure through the Spirit. And the Most High have mercy on y'all and your households and y'all families. And that y'all continuously pray and fast and ask the Most High to have mercy on us so that we're able to be delivered up out of this captivity. And that the Lord just strengthens all of us through the Spirit. All right? Because the day of the Lord is at hand. So love y'all. Shalom.